okay, someone just connected dots about you that they hadn't connected before. And that moment of understanding changed everything for them. Not what you told them directly, what they pieced together, what they figured out on their own. And now they see you differently. Not worse, not better, just fuller, more complete, in a way that makes you impossible to dismiss or forget or treat casually anymore. Let me describe what this looks like. You may have shared something recently without thinking it was significant, a story, a detail, a casual mention of something from your past, or something you do, or something you believe. Some people experience sharing as just conversation, just filling space, just being social. They don't realize that certain pieces of information carry weight for the listener, even when they feel light to the speaker. It might have been something about what you've survived, a challenge you overcame, a loss you endured, a situation you navigated that would have broken most people. And you mentioned it like it was nothing, because to you it is nothing, just your life. But to someone listening, it was everything, because it gave context, explained patterns they'd noticed, showed them why you are the way you are. Let's pause here. This reflection invites you to consider, what have you shared recently that you didn't think was important but might have been profound to someone else? Maybe you mentioned something you're skilled at, something you can do that you consider normal but others consider exceptional. And someone heard that and suddenly understood your competence, your value, your capability in ways they hadn't recognized before. You may downplay your abilities. You've been doing certain things so long they feel automatic, basic, not worth mentioning. But to someone who can't do those things, your capability is impressive. It's possible you've been hiding your light without realizing it, not from insecurity, just from habit, from not wanting to seem like you're bragging, from normalizing what's actually extraordinary about you. Some people are attracted to potential, others are attracted to demonstrated capability, and you just demonstrated something that shifted you from interesting to compelling in someone's mind. You may notice someone's energy towards you intensifying, more questions, more attention, more interest in understanding you beyond surface interactions. It can feel exposing when someone starts seeing you more clearly, like you can't hide anymore, like they're paying attention in ways that feel uncomfortable because you're not used to being truly seen. But being seen by someone who appreciates what they see is different than being exposed. One feels safe, the other feels vulnerable, and this person is making you feel seen, not exposed. This reflection invites you to consider, is someone paying attention to you in ways they weren't before? There's something specific about what gave them chills means. It's possible what they discovered triggered recognition. Like they've been looking for something specific and you have it. Like they've been hoping someone like you existed and here you are. You may represent something to them now that you didn't before. Not fantasy, just alignment. Like the person they've been hoping to find actually manifests qualities you possess. Some people go through life looking for specific traits, specific values, specific ways of being, and most people they meet don't have them. So when they encounter someone who does, it registers differently. You may have just registered differently for someone, moved from background to foreground, from acquaintance to someone they need to know better. from casual connection to potential something significant. Or maybe what gave them chills was contrast. They expected one thing based on surface presentation and discovered something completely different underneath. And that gap between expectation and reality fascinated them. It can feel flattering when someone's perception of you deepens, when they realize you're more than they thought, when surface impressions give way to actual understanding. But it can also feel destabilizing, like now you have to maintain this image, like you've accidentally created expectations you're not sure you can meet. This reflection invites you to consider when someone discovers something impressive about you. Do you feel validated or pressured? Let me talk about what can't stop actually means. It's possible they can't stop thinking about what they learned. They keep returning to it, replaying the conversation, considering implications, building a more complete picture of who you are based on this new information. You may have noticed increased contact from someone, more texts, more invitations, more attempts to engage, not random, intentional, like they're creating opportunities to learn more, to understand better, to get closer. Some people pursue, obviously, when they're interested, others pursue through curiosity, through wanting to understand, through creating repeated contact that feels natural but is actually strategic. You may be experiencing that second kind of pursuit, someone who's not declaring interest but is definitely showing it through consistent presence, through attention, through investment in knowing you, or they can't stop talking about you to themselves, to friends, processing what they learned, trying to understand why it affected them so much, trying to figure out what to do with these new feelings. Um, it can feel intense being the subject of someone's focus, even when you're not aware of it, even when it's happening in private. The energy of someone thinking about you persistently creates a pull you might sense without understanding why. This reflection invites you to consider, have you been feeling someone's energy on you even when they're not physically present? There's something about what you might need to do with this information. It's possible you need to stay authentic. Don't start performing now that you know someone's paying attention. Don't exaggerate or embellish or try to be more of whatever they seemed impressed by. You may be tempted to do that, to lean into whatever quality caught their attention, to make sure they stay interested by amplifying what worked. Some people lose themselves trying to maintain interest they accidentally created. They perform the version someone liked instead of just continuing to be themselves. You may need to resist that impulse. The you they discovered is the you they're interested in, not an enhanced version, not a performed version, just the actual you. It can feel risky to just keep being yourself, like it's not enough, like you need to do something extra to keep their attention now that you have it. But authenticity is what created interest in the first place. Abandoning it to maintain interest defeats the purpose. What you might also need to do is decide if you're interested back. Someone being intrigued by you doesn't obligate you to reciprocate. You can appreciate that they see you and still not want to pursue connection with them. Some people just receive attention without considering whether they want to return it. They enjoy being seen without asking themselves if this is someone they want seeing them. You may need to examine that. Is this person's increased interest something you welcome or something you need to gently redirect? It can feel automatic to reciprocate when someone shows interest, like you owe them attention because they're giving you attention. But interest doesn't create debt. You can honor someone's courage in pursuing you without matching their investment. Let me talk about what this might mean for the dynamic between you. It's possible things are about to shift. Someone who was casual is going to become intentional. Someone who was peripheral is going to move closer. Someone who was undefined is going to want definition. You may need to prepare for that shift, for conversations about what this is, for questions about whether you're interested, for someone wanting clarity where there's been ambiguity. Some people avoid those conversations. They like the undefined space, the lack of pressure, the freedom of not having to commit to anything specific. You may be one of those people, and this person's interest is going to challenge your comfort with ambiguity. They're going to want to know where they stand, and you're going to have to figure out what you want to tell them. It can feel premature to define things, like you need more time, like you're not ready for that conversation yet. But someone else's timeline doesn't have to be yours. You can acknowledge their interest and still need time to figure out your own. You can honor their clarity without matching it immediately. You remain in complete control of how you respond to someone's increased interest. You can lean in, pull back, stay neutral, explore, decline clearly. The power is yours. It always has been. You may notice reading this has brought up a specific person whose attention has shifted toward you recently. Maybe curiosity about what they discovered, maybe discomfort with being seen more clearly. Whatever it is, honor it, take what resonates, softly release the rest, trust yourself. Before we close, I want to ask you something. When someone discovers something about you that makes them more interested, does that make you want to get closer or create distance? Drop it in the comments honestly. And this, what part of yourself are you most protective of people discovering? What they just found out about you gave them chills and now they can't stop. Thinking about you, trying to understand you, creating reasons to interact with you, paying attention in ways that might feel overwhelming if you're not used to being truly seen. Not because you're performing, because you're real, and something real about you landed with them in a way that shifted everything. Not eventually, it's happening now. Trust yourself with this. Trust that being discovered is different than being pursued. Trust that you don't have to perform to maintain interest. Trust that the right person will be drawn to your authenticity, not to a curated version you think they want. See you in the next one. And listen, someone seeing you clearly is a gift, but only if they appreciate what they see, and only if you want to be seen by them specifically.